A recent Ontario Human Rights Tribunal decision proves 2 points. Number one, Islam apparently occupies the very pinnacle of the human rights hierarchy. In other words, the unofficial slogan of human rights commissions these days seems to be, if it's Islamic, it's good, and if it's good, it's Islamic. Second point, yet again, the Canadian Constitution needs to be amended so that it recognizes private property rights, even though there's no chance liberal elites will ever champion that particular amendment. In any event, a recent Toronto Sun column by Michelle Mandel makes for must-read material regarding the way in which human rights racketeers can game the system, a system that seemingly rewards the takers while crucifying the makers. Here's the skinny. As Mandel reports, John Alabi, a small landlord who rented out the main floor of his Brampton, Ontario home to an Arab Muslim couple, has been ordered to pay the couple $12,000. The reason? He apparently failed to accommodate their religious practices when showing the rental space to other prospective tenants. Indeed, the Human Rights Tribunal found that Alabi harassed them and created a poisoned housing environment. Oh my, that sounds serious. What sort of heinous Islamophobia did Mr. Alabi commit? Well, for starters, he refused to remove his shoes, in his own house, mind you, when showing the bedroom where the couple prayed, even though he testified this had never been an issue before things became contentious. But there's more. While Alabi always gave the couple the mandated 24 hours notice before showing the property to prospective renters, that apparently wasn't enough time for them. For example, the couple demanded additional heads-up time to make sure they weren't in the midst of their 5 daily prayers, and apparently the wife, Hiba Ismail, needed extra time so she could be modestly dressed. Hey, apparently it takes a lot of effort to don that full Islamic beekeeper suit, even though she was unemployed and was always at home. Well, surprise, surprise, Vice Chair Joanne Pickle ruled, quote, the couple were merely making simple requests for the accommodation of their religious practices. Their requests easily could have been met without any hardship to the respondent, end quote. Now, it should be noted that the reason Alabi wanted new tenants was due to the fact that Madkour and Ismail were apparently the Sharia tenants from hell. For example, in a case of the proverbial tail wagging the dog, the couple allegedly wanted Alabi, the property owner, to be silent in his own house after 10 p.m. Ismail also complained that she was intimidated and frightened by Alabi due to loud pounding on the steps outside their door. The couple actually called the police, even though it turned out that Alabi was simply shoveling snow that day. Now, in his defense, Alabi accused the tenants of trying to impose their way of life on him. Oh, but the tribunal wasn't buying that, especially when evidence was presented that indicated Alabi had made a joke on Facebook about devout Arabs that the couple found deeply offensive. Oh, poor Alabi. He told the tribunal that he had the right to freedom of speech, clearly unaware that human rights commissions considered free speech to be toxic. So it was that the Arab Muslims were awarded $6,000 each for, quote, injury to their dignity, feelings, and self-respect, end quote. And to add insult to injury, Alabi must now take a course called Human Rights in Rental Housing. After all, if Alabi isn't going to voluntarily buy into Canada's ongoing program of cultural enrichment, well, by God, the Human Rights Tribunal shall now force him to do so. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Like what you just saw, then click subscribe below and never miss another Rebel video.